Hi FPL managers, welcome to FPL Team Talk. You know what, the game week 8 deadline has passed. I'm already locked in, there's nothing I can do about that, just sit and wait and see how my players get on. All I can really do is think about game week 9, so I'm just going to have a little video to tell you about the fixtures I'm thinking of, who we should be targeting, the things that might happen in between to determine any decisions and transfer plans. So on screen I've got all the game week 9 fixtures. A few of them really jump out. Obviously that game between Chelsea and Norwich looks like a real one to target. You've got the game, I quite like Everton-Watford. Interesting to see how Watford get on under Ranieri. Also Palace home to Newcastle, but again the reaction of Newcastle could be interesting. There's obviously 1 or 2 games to avoid. I don't like Man City going to Brighton. I think Brighton are very good defensively, so that might be a tricky game for them. Was high scoring last year, I seem to remember though. And then Man U, Liverpool obviously bringing up the tail with that game. That looks like a game that you would possibly want to avoid. Please remember to subscribe if you're new around here, guys, but otherwise let's have a look at what else we got in store for you and the games that I'm going to be targeting. Chelsea Norwich is an absolute crucial one. It is the early kickoff. Shouldn't make any difference to our thoughts as to whether we're going to target them or not, or player selection. If it's an early kickoff last game, doesn't matter. Just target the games that you think you're going to get the most points in. Everton-Watford as well. Everton at home. Will be interesting to learn about injury news with DCL. Yeremina might be back today. We'll have to see about that. And then Palace at home to Newcastle. Palace look quite a good side, I think, under Vieira. So I think there'll be an interesting one to target. Newcastle do have some players back, but Lascelles is still injured, so their defence is still looking a little bit shaky. So there'll be one that I'll be interested in targeting as well. Okay, in particular then, if we look at that Chelsea game against Norwich, their fixtures coming up just look so tasty that you can't avoid the likes of looking at James. Interesting to see if he plays at the weekend, this weekend. Does he have his place? If he does, you suspect he's going to keep his place for a while. Then you've got the likes of, obviously, you've got Lukaku. Will Rudiger be back? We need to keep an eye on those injury developments. They have a game in midweek as well in Europe, and we'll have a look at that in a minute because that will be important for gathering information. But those fixtures look so good. These, I definitely want 3 Chelsea players in. I haven't at the moment. James is one possibly I will jump across from Christensen onto, but those Chelsea games and that Norwich game in particular looks like one I don't want to lose out on. Other games to look at as well. Everton at home to Watford. Everton quite free scoring. Will DCL be back? He's, bringing DCL in could be a differential. So that looks interesting. You've got also Townsend and Gray. So they're being on fire. I'm not really interested in Decore, if I'm honest. A lot of people will jump on him. I can understand that. That's one for them, not for me. Let's have a look at, and also we've got obviously Crystal Palace, Newcastle. Palace not only because of this game at home, but they just have some great fixtures coming up. Mitchell's one I haven't put on here, but again he interests me defensively. Let's see how they get on. Conor Gallagher, he just looks brilliant for his price, and then Edouard up front. Does he keep his place? Does he keep playing alongside Benteke or instead of Benteke? That could be interesting. So for his price and those fixtures coming up, Burnley, Newcastle, Norwich, they just look brilliant set of fixtures. Again, they look like a team. How heavily would I want to go into them? I'm not sure. But their players are so cheap. So there's lots of good options there. Have to bear in mind that there's quite a few European fixtures going on. So that needs to be in our back of our mind with our thinking, especially if we're starting to think about early transfers. City and Liverpool both away in midweek. Okay, I'm not saying they're long journeys away. They do get some rest until their kickoffs at the weekend. But the likes of Jota, Firmino playing, if you're a Jota owner, do you want to see him playing in that Atletico game or do you want to see him rested? That's another thing to be considering. If Foden plays today and tomorrow, again, is he a player that you would think, yeah, okay, maybe I can rest him? They've got, I think, quite a tricky game away at Brighton. Then you've got the Manchester United, Chelsea. Obviously, don't forget in Leicester, Tottenham and West Ham all in Europa League action. But that Chelsea game will be interesting as well. Will Rudiger be back and fit for it? Will he be rested? What news will we get on him? Will Lukaku, again, we're looking at him and his sort of muscle stresses and muscle sort of problems that he's been supposedly having away at Belgium. Will he get the rest there as well that perhaps he needs or wants? Manchester United will be a crucial game as well because they obviously had a disappointing result in their first match, so quite an important game for that. Ronaldo, is he going to continue to play 2 games a week? Okay, guys, games to avoid, really. I mean, I haven't got Trent on my side. I took him out for the wild card just because there was injury concerns, and then also this fixture coming up. I don't think I'd want to. I definitely want to bring Trent back in. For this game, he's a no-go for me. Not for this week. Certainly I'm going to start to manoeuvre players and funds in order to get him for the following fixtures. But away at Man U, I just want to avoid players. If you've got him, I don't think he's a self by any shot. The same with Ronaldo. I think if you've got those players in there, I wouldn't be looking to move them out. But that's a lot of money to have and a tough fixture to go. But again, you've got to look longer term. Brighton City, again, Foden, Grealish are popular at the moment. It's not a game I would bring them in for. I think there's more appealing fixtures. They do have good games after that. If I can delay doing some transfer action until the week after, I think that would be the plan for me. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. It's just a quick just a look ahead to game week 9 and thoughts and things to have in the back of our mind before we make any transfer plans. In the meantime, I hope you have a great weekend. You get all the scores you want, and I shall see you on the other side. Goodbye for now.